Welcome to Week 6, Lerve's Fantasy Swerve. I'm your host, Thomas Lerve. We're in my bathroom today. If you haven't seen my bathroom, feel free to make fun of it. It's Jayhawks. We're not doing too well. I don't know if you guys saw the score. 70 points we gave up last week. But this isn't about college football. It's about professional football. That's why you come to me. Come to me for answers. Come to me for advice. Really, you come to me because in most of these leagues, none of you guys are doing shit when it comes to talking some smack. So that's why you're here. Anyways, I'm here in my bathroom, and I wanted to talk about Week 6, Lerve's Fantasy Swerve. Let's get going. Jayhawks West League 4-1, currently playing fourth and drunk. It's the new guy up this week, last name Heathman, and my man needs to set his lineup right now. He's struggling right now. I know we're in bye weeks, but set your lineup. Even though you're going to lose this week, you still need to set your lineup. And, you know, if I wanted no one to talk smack in the league, we'd have kept guys like Eddie Pratt and Ryan Lance and other douchebags. Whatever. Suffice it to say, hey, if your team sucks, that's fine, but still you got to talk something. So feel free to ring me up. You know my number. Alright, Steve Bono's league, 4-1 as well, going up against Ray Dog Hogs. One of my favorite guys that I've never really met, Scotty Anderson. Good friend of Chesty's, and I haven't really heard much, man. He's been quiet this season. We talked a little bit when we were doing fantasy draft at the beginning of the year, and really enjoy him, but I really haven't heard much from him lately. So, Scotty, if you're out there, I know you're redheaded. I mean, that's the obvious joke, but you know, feel free to say something to me. I actually think you're going to win this week. So, I mean, you got that going for you. But we'll see what happens there. But 4-1, still doing well in the Steve Bono league. Long distance league, a little bit of a different story, 3-2. There's a big matchup we'll talk about just a second, but going up against the bride-to-be in less than 24 hours, Beth Esseltine. Boy, you know, she isn't starting a second quarterback right now. It's still on bye, and I started thinking to myself, well, she's got the wedding prep, weddings tomorrow. She got a 6 a.m. flight out to St. Lucia. That's how she gets her name, the St. Lucia Lions. So I think I'm probably going to win. I may remind her tomorrow as we're celebrating the wedding, but I probably won't. So, Beth, if you see this before you fly out to St. Lucia, congrats. Set your lineup. If not, we're going to call it an easy victory for my team there in the long distance league. And then finally, overall, we've got the Heatherson League. Great matchup this week. It's going up against Bazinga. That's right, Jim Coleman. It's the battle of futility. I'm thinking tomorrow when we golf, Jim, that we'll make a bet. Whoever shoots the better round, the other guy just benches his entire team. I feel like it'd be easier that way. At least we wouldn't feel bad if our team put up crappy numbers and one of us just eked out a win. Let's actually look at something we're talented at, golf, and see what we can do. But I tell you what, there's some great matchups this week, and what I decided to do this week was to go matchup by matchup in each league and give you my predictions. But let's just look at long distance league, for example. Talk about rivalry week. Myself versus Beth, the bride. Mike Gross, 4-1, going up against undefeated Simon Sadiq in the Camel Toe team, 5-0. That's a huge matchup. Biggest matchup, haven't heard a word out of these guys. Chris Stuckey versus Ed, Calendar Yellow, or however you say your last name. You know, there's been no Ed Hardy jokes. There's been no short jokes, laser tag. I mean, there's been nothing. Hopefully they see each other at the wedding tomorrow. I think they're going to both be there, but unbelievable. I haven't heard anything. And then, you know, Sarah and Matt talk about a love-hate relationship, and we'll figure out who loves and who hates. You'll figure it out on your own. And then Scott Steele and Margo, which really isn't a big matchup. But let me just run through real quick. Here's who I think is going to win in every league matchups. All right, Jayhawk West. Myself, Half Sacks, Davos Hose, Cardiff Giants, new team name for Matt Hendren, Starkey and Hutch, Steve Bono's league, Ray Dog Hog's going to beat me, Midgets, Engine Failure, Primetime, Super Bowl Shuffle, Long Distance League, I'll get the win, Flicker Tails is going to upset Camel Toe, the U second string, Von Goldschmidt gets his first win, that's right, sorry Sarah, and then Hurricane Ditka. Oh, that's an ugly matchup. Ugly. And the Headstone lead, I think Jim Coleman wins. The Kuminator, he gets my big upset pick of the week. Kuminator's going to win. Godspeed, Bald Bombers, TV Bucks, and then another minor upset, Chaos. Alright. Before we go any further, I got a new sponsor this week. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but But Wrigley's gum has got a new gum out. And then let me just show you real quick. Yeah, it's the Swerve. Yeah, they've got a Swerve gum. Who knew? Tastes like crap. Kind of like my Heatherstone League team. But so thanks Wrigley's for sponsoring the Lerve Swerve with Swerve's gum. Overall matchup of the week. I got to go back to Steve Bona League. TDs and beer versus midgets. We talked about the midgets last week. Their team name, the controversy, the kid. No one cares. But they're both starting 2 tight ends this week. So what bye weeks will do to you guys. I mean, you gotta remember, in this league, we can start 4 running backs, 2 in the regular running back position, and then in the flex position, you can start a wide receiver running back, and then the other one a wide receiver running back tight end. These guys are starting 2 tight ends. It's gonna be the battle of quarterbacks. It's Aaron Rodgers versus Cam Newton. Who knew Cam Newton was gonna be a fantasy factor this year? I bet you everybody that owns him is starting him this week, unless they've got Rodgers or Brady or Breeze. But listen to their wide receivers. Anquan Bolden, Mike Williams, Victor Cruz, Des Bryant, Lance Moore. Now, where are the studs at? Oh, I forgot one. Brandon Marshall. Guys, here this week, he's basically saying he's going to get kicked out of the game in the second quarter. If you're starting Brandon Marshall, are you a little worried about that? I mean, I know the guy's got like social anxiety disorder or whatever, but that's kind of crazy. The guy literally said, I'm going to get kicked out. So, I mean, if that isn't a fantasy red flag, I don't know what is. My smack of the week goes to Matt Schmidt. He'll be here tomorrow in town for the wedding. Can't wait to see you, buddy. He's an 0-5 team, and his team slogan this week is, doing my part in the Suck for Luck sweepstakes. I think it's a competition, he says, but that's brilliant, buddy. Listen, you're 0-5, but you're still having fun. First year, I love you. Hey, one other thing, waiver wire sleepers here. Let me give you a couple quick names. Donald Brown or Delane Carter for Indianapolis. Either one's going to have a good week. Adai's out this week. Pick up those guys and start them if you need to. Quarterback, Jason Campbell, going up against Cleveland. I think he's going to have a big week. And then on the wide receiver, James Jones. Had a big week last week. Donald Driver's been a non-factor. If you haven't picked up James Jones, I know Jordy Nelson was a sexy pick earlier in the season. James Jones quietly becoming a favorite target of Aaron Rodgers. And then finally, from a defense perspective, going to go on a limb with Washington this week, playing Philly. I think it's going to be a good pick for them. Again, forget the points. It's sacks, it's turnovers, fumbles, interceptions. Washington's defense is looking really good this year. So if you have a defensive issue, you may want to go out and pick them up. And finally, I just wanted to end by saying I'm kind of done with Heatherstone. I mean, I hate to say it, I'm 0-5. Kind of want to wipe my ass with my team. In fact, let me just do that right now. Oh, here they are. Huggies Heroes, 0-5. So, with that said, I'm going to end week 6 by doing what I should have done to my team before I freaking drafted them and flushing them down the toilet. Have a good week.